All right, for most of you, playoffs start next week. So this is a pretty crucial week to get a win for a lot of people who are right on the edge of playoffs. I'm going to give you some starts and sits of week 14, guys that are on the edge, and I'm going to tell you which way I'm leaning. Let's start with the starts of the week. At the quarterback position, Taysom Hill is probably the best streaming quarterback option that you have this week. They play the Jets. The Jets give up the 8th most points to the quarterback position, but they also get smoked on the ground. And the funny thing about Taysom Hill is that he is a quarterback, but he also operates as a running back a lot of the times as well. Last week, put up over 100 yards, one of 3 quarterbacks to do that this entire year. Super safe floor as well. I mean, he threw 4 interceptions last week, still finished as a top 6 option in week 13. And this week going up against the Jets, I believe that this team is going to be able to defensively stop the Saints, or the Jets, excuse me, which means that there should be a lot of time of possession for the Saints. The offense will be on the field more often. Alvin Kamara will be back. So I like Taysom Hill this week. At the running back position, you can start Javonte Williams again. That's right. He's coming off a the running back one performance last week while Melvin Gordon was out versus the Chiefs. I think Melvin's going to be back in this game, but they play the Detroit Lions, who give up the 3rd most points to running backs. So I think there'll be enough work for both of these running backs to be fantasy relevant. And let's be honest, this team operates through the run game. They have 3 big name wide receivers that they pay a lot of money to, but still, even last week when they were down versus the Chiefs, they decided to run the ball, continually run the ball. It doesn't make sense to me, but they feed their running backs versus the Lions, a team that cannot defend the run. I like both Melvin and Javonte, but Javonte is the start of the week. I also just want to take a quick second to say a massive, massive thank you to all of you guys supporting us over on Patreon, supporting the channel, the podcast, and our dream. It means more than you will ever know. You guys are the real MVPs. You can confidently start Clyde Edwards-Helaire as well. That's right, CEH. He's been pretty good since coming back from the injury, and this Chiefs offense is starting to slowly find a groove and an identity. They play the Raiders, who give up the 4th most points to the running back position. Let's not forget what Antonio Gibson did last week to this team. Teams know how to beat the Raiders. You attack them on the ground, and you control time of possession. Clyde has been the guy handling most of the touches. He's averaging 15.5 touches per game since coming back from that injury, and both of those games have been above 10 PPR points. I expect him to be anywhere from maybe 12 to 17 points in this game in a PPR format. I would like to see him more involved in the passing game, but still, if he gets 2 to 3 catches a game, that presents a safer floor. At the wide receiver position, confidently start Elijah Moore, who is having a fantastic rookie campaign. He's going to continue that this week. They play the Saints, who give up the 6th most points to wide receivers. It's crazy, right? The Saints are a great defense. They are, but they're getting burnt through the air right now. Since week 7, Elijah Moore, okay, this team had their bye week in week 6. So since week 7, Elijah Moore is the wide receiver 3 in PPR formats. I think he continues his great form this week. We've seen now with Zach Wilson that he can be fantasy relevant. Last week with Zach Wilson, here's his stat line: 6 receptions on 12 targets. They are throwing him the ball early and often for 77 yards and a touchdown. Corey Davis is confirmed out. Start Moore with confidence. And this is more of a deep play if you need a wide receiver 2 or a flex, but Russell Gage doesn't feel like a name that you can rely on, but he's been pretty good this year. Been dealing with some injuries, but while he's been healthy, he's filled in nicely for Calvin Ridley. While Carolina is very, very good against wide receivers, I expect Stephon Gilmore to be covering Kyle Pitts like he did the last time these two teams played. And by the way, last time these two teams played, Kyle Pitts was double teamed, so they had to go elsewhere. You still have to start Pitts if you have him, but it should lead to more opportunities for Gage. And he's averaging over 16 PPR points per game in the last 3 weeks. In that time span, he's also averaging 9 targets per game. So this is a matchup where I think they're going to look to Gage. I mean, it seems like he's filling that Ridley role, and he's starting to build more confidence with Matt Ryan. At the tight end position, you can start Dawson Knox. Let's throw out what happened last week in that weather game. No one was going to be reliable in fantasy due to that weather. Knox has been really good in his sophomore season with Josh Allen. He's currently tied for the most touchdowns amongst tight ends, despite missing 2 whole games with that wrist injury. Okay, and he currently averages the 7th most points amongst tight ends. He's always on the field, 90% plus of snaps every week. The Bucs should be able to score, which means they will need to throw the ball. The Bills will. And in the red zone, you know Allen's always looking to Knox to get a touchdown. And to finish, I'm going to quickly give you a couple sits. These are quite general, but sit all Jets running backs, okay? New Orleans gives up the least points to that position. It's too messy between Tevin Coleman, Ty Johnson, Austin Waller. There's no clear-cut value in this backfield. And if this Saints team is going to be beat, it's going to be beat through the air, not through the run game. You also need to sit any Texan not named Brandon Cooks. I mean, I'm not even confident about Brandon Cooks, but you might have to start him. Look, this is a team who's coming off a week where they scored 0 points. They did not score any points. This backfield is too messy between David Johnson, Rex Burkhead, and a bunch of other random running backs. And I don't know if there's a quarterback there that can actually drive this ball down the field with this offense. So I'm not confident in this team scoring a bunch of points, even though it's a good matchup against Seattle technically. I don't want to sit any of these players. You don't want to lose a week on some uncertainty. Those are our starts and sits. Comment down below if you have any questions, and good luck this week.
Yo, what's good? Thanks for watching. We got a lot more videos.
A lot more.
If you want more videos.
Watch
now,
it.
You can also subscribe.
Right now.
If you want to.
You need to.
And lastly, don't forget that you can sign up to support the show and get exclusive content by going to patreon.com/fantasylandfam.